What's going on? Just came across a 2023 mock draft by my boy Josh Edwards of CBS Sports. If you guys don't know me, I'm TwoToneSports. All things mock drafts, all things college football, all things UFC, NFL, and we'll be getting into the MLB. Big stories, but mostly the Yankees. So, let's jump into this one. NFL Mock Draft 2023. QBs taken within the top 4 picks after Cardinals trade back. Cowboys select pass catcher. All right. Carolina throws a curveball at the top of the draft order. Once again, my boy Josh Edwards. We have react to some of his mock drafts in the past. Some of them are pretty crazy, to be honest. I really enjoy them. He moves a lot of picks around. So, let's jump into this one. Pick numero uno. Just so you guys know, the NFL draft will be April 27th to the 29th. I will be live on YouTube. And if I hit 1,000 followers on TikTok, I will be also live on TikTok. TwoToneSports there as well. But I will be live the entire NFL draft. So don't forget to stop in. All right, we got numero uno. First overall pick is going to be the Carolina Panthers moving up to take Will Levis. Carolina controls its own fate after moving up from 9 to 1. The Panthers really like Will Levis, and he fits the mold of a Frank Reich cornerback. Not saying with certainty that he'll be the number 1 overall selection, but I think it will be naive to ignore the possibility. 2018, everyone thought the Browns were leaning towards Sam Darnold or Josh Allen until they took Baker Mayfield. Let's let that one sink in. 2018, the Browns took Baker Mayfield over Sam Darnold and Josh Allen. Sam Darnold, comparable career-wise to Baker. You could flip-flop and argue who you wanted more, whatever. I get it. Josh Allen was a project, but man, would that franchise be different if they took him. 6'3", 232 out of Kentucky, Will Levis. First off the board, once again, in a trade that they already have done with the Chicago Bears. I don't necessarily know if they had to move from 9 to 1 to get Will Levis. They probably should have went like 9 to 3 if Levis was their guy, or Levis, however you guys want to say it. I think the first 2 off the board should be Stroud and Young. And then if they really wanted Levis, they could have got him at 3. But hey, listen, if you're going to sell out and this is what you're truly want, and this is your guy, and this is your franchise guy, that's how you vision him, I can't knock you for moving to number 1. But that's just my feelings. Pick number 2, Bryce Young. Wow. Let me tell you guys, this is how I think the draft is going. Stroud 1, Young 2. If Young goes 1, Stroud goes 2. I think that's how it's going to go. I also don't think you're going to see either of these teams move, especially not the Texans, especially not the Panthers. I think you could see a move at 3, though. Houston would obviously love a QB with some size, but a 6'4" Bryce Young would not be available at number 2. What? Overall, I think the Texans will favor a QB who's accurate, makes good decisions, and has mobility. I mean, yeah, Bryce Young is just not 6'4". He's 6 foot. He weighed in at like 204 at the combine, I believe. So, yeah. I like it. Once again, his size is the only thing that's a concern, but as a QB, solid. Just size, height, and weight. Think it's a great pick for Houston. I think it's a great start, and it's what they need to do. If this happens this way, they may take Stroud, but QB1, QB2, move. Whoa, we have a trade. We have a trade. Golly. C.J. Stroud. The Arizona Cardinals trade with the Las Vegas Raiders. They move up to number 3. Wow. C.J. Stroud, 6'3", 218. Las Vegas trades up to take the third QB off the board. If you guys did not know, the Raiders signed Jimmy Garoppolo in free agency, but probably do not view him as the long-term answer. A 2024 first-round pick goes back to Arizona as part of the trade. I'm a little confused by this one. So they traded this year's first and next year's first to move up to get Stroud when they signed Jimmy Garoppolo in free agency. Really? You're going to give up this year's first and next year's first to get a QB that's going to sit behind Garoppolo. I mean, yeah, he's going to compete with him, but he's at least going to sit behind. All right. I mean, I get it. Stroud is good, but after getting Garoppolo, I don't see this trade. I just don't. I was trying to look at my phone to see how long Jimmy G's contract is. 3 years. He has a 3-year contract. I don't see you doing this trade this year. I don't see you doing this trade this year. If you're going to do it, you do it next year for like May or Caleb Williams. I don't see this trade happening this year after you sign Garoppolo to a 3-year deal, especially since Stroud isn't that raw. If you're going to do this, you don't trade and you take Richardson. And you put Richardson behind Garoppolo for a year or two so he can develop. I don't think you do this trade. That's just me. Raiders fans, what are we thinking here? I want to hear this in the comments below. Woo. There goes Richardson. 6'4", 232. If Indianapolis does not become more aggressive, then the possibility exists that the Colts could be left with their 4th option at QB. Or they can get their top QB. No one knows how they view the position. I think if the Cardinals stay here and say the draft goes like this, Levis, Young, I think somebody will definitely try aggressively to hop up with the Cardinals to take Stroud. But if Stroud doesn't go to the Raiders, or Stroud doesn't go at 3 before the Colts, they're going to take Stroud or Levis or Young, whoever is there. Here they've taken Richardson. I don't mind it. He's a risk, but with any risk, he's a high risk, high reward. Dude had a crazy combine. This is still blowing my mind here. You sign Jimmy to 3 years and then you get Stroud. I don't know about that. Wow. Will Anderson, first defender off the board. I expected it before 5, though. 6'4", 243. All around defensive, and dude is crazy. I genuinely believe that it's in Seattle's best interest to take a quarterback to develop, but the 4 best options are off the board. Instead, the Seahawks take the draft's safest edge rusher to continue building a defensive front that just added Tremont Jones in free agency. Let me tell you, if the draft falls this way, this is what you do. Honestly, don't be shocked if you see Anthony Richardson come off the board here to them if he's still available. But, well, this is an A-plus pick for Seattle. Dude is all around. He's nasty. Tyree Wilson off the board before Jalen Carter. Let me tell you guys, if you didn't see Jalen Carter's pro day, it was not pretty. It was not pretty. I know his whole court thing. He has to do like community service and all that. He's not going to jail, so that's a big thing. But I think this is what happens now. I think Jalen Carter falls. I'm interested to see how far he falls with Josh Edwards here. I have him out of my top 10 for sure. Tyree Wilson, 6'6", 275. Dude's crazy. It's difficult to envision Detroit passing on Jalen Carter, but the reality is no one knows where he is likely to be taken considering his situation. In this scenario, we consider that teams may be a bit more cautious towards selecting him. As a result, Detroit stays put and picks an edge rusher to line upside Hutchinson. For me, for the Lions, if I'm a Lions fan, if Anderson goes, this is who I want. I don't want Carter. I just think you have these two bookends of Hutchinson and Wilson. I just think it's a better match than Carter. I really do. You gotta watch. If you haven't seen Tyree Wilson's tape, put it on. Dude's good. All right, so now we have Cardinals. Moving back from 3 to 7, Cardinals, you should trade. If Anderson, if you're okay getting like, let's see, Miles Murphy, Christian Gonzalez, if you're viewing corner, trade. You're trading. If you like Wilson, Murphy, Anderson, if you realistically go back to like 8 or 9, I think you should be able to get them. So Christian Gonzalez, my corner one from the start of the offseason. Everybody was arguing with me. He was my clear-cut corner from day one. 6'2", 201, Arizona just needs to add young talent to its roster, and it could go in a number of directions, from offensive line to defensive line to secondary. In this scenario, the Cardinals take a cornerback with the best combination of athletic traits. Kid's nasty. That's all I got to say. I say in every one of my videos, love this kid. He should absolutely be a top 10 pick. He does not get enough respect. He does not. He's got great vert, great speed, 6'2". Kid's going to be good at the next level. Lucas Van Ness before Miles Murphy, before Jalen Carter. Lucas Van Ness, 6'5", 275, powerful player who showed his athletic potential at the NFL Combine. Yeah. Arnold and Van Ness is a pass rush duo that the NFC South franchise can build around. I get that. It's really all down to how teams view Van Ness, whether they view him over Murphy. Maybe how much Nolan Smith shot up some people's boards, and how they view the severity of the whole Jalen Carter situation. But this is a good pick. This kind of fits like what the Falcons do too. Lucas Van Ness is good. If you guys didn't know, he wasn't even a starter, and he's going pick 8. This makes sense. Kind of crazy to think about. If you would have told me, let's give it a month ago. If you would have told me a month ago, Jalen Carter would be there at pick, or has the possibility of being there at pick 9 for the Bears after they trade, is crazy to me, because there was mock drafts that the Bears were staying at 1, taking this kid. 6'3", 300 pounds. There's a lot going on with Jalen Carter's world, so it is difficult to say where he's going to be picked. The talent suggests that he could be long gone by now. The Bears traded back and could still theoretically take the player they initially wanted at number 1. Carter's good. He did not look good in his pro day. He looked a little fat. Okay, he looked a little fat. My boy put on a little bit of weight. I want to say they said he put 9 pounds. But he's good. I don't necessarily know if he's going to be an every down player to start. That's all dependent on his gas tank. We said the same thing about Jordan Davis. Different style than Jordan Davis, don't get me wrong. But at 9, do it. Do it. Now you got the Eagles here, all right? You're going to have the Eagles coming up here. Don't be shocked to see a corner. Don't be shocked to see a defensive lineman. It's exactly who I was thinking. Miles Murphy, 6'5", 275. Great pick for them. I love this pick. Philly stays put at 10 and follows through on its... I mean, yeah. Let's be honest. They love rotational defensive linemen. Myles Murphy's tape was better in 2021, but this is a player with a high ceiling, and man, does he fit on this team. He fits this team. I really like this pick. I think it's a great pick. So we're not going to get too deep into that. I love Myles Murphy. Who we got here? If you don't do an offensive lineman here, Josh, I'm going to freak. Peter Skoronski, I'm going to get into why I think he's probably going to be the first offensive lineman off the board. So he's 6'4", 315. Tennessee signs Andre Dillard in free agency to play left tackle. Now it brings Skoronski to provide more sustainability to that unit. Skoronski could play right tackle, but he also can be a really special interior player. That's why I think he is the first offensive lineman off the board. If you need him to play tackle, he's there. If you need him to play guard, he's there. Could he realistically play center? I mean, probably. This kid's that versatile. He really is. He's that versatile. I could see it. I could easily see him playing center. Ooh, I like this. We go Bryce Young. Then we go my boy Brian Brees, 6'5", 305. They get this in the trade with Deshaun Watson. Brian Brees tested like a great interior defender at the combine, but his film did not match. When he shared all that he had been dealing with physically and mentally, it made sense on why he may not have been playing 100%. Houston gets potentially a great player at an important position. If you did not know, his sister was battling cancer, and she passed away during the season or before the season. He also has been dealing with many, many, many injuries. I just want to see this kid with just not a heavy heart, just a good life. And let me see how good this kid is. All right. There's no need for this kid to constantly battle through adversity. His heart and his will is the biggest in the draft. If you've seen what he went through, his ability is up there too. Just stop beating the kid down and let's see his potential. That's my wish for Brian Brees. No matter where he goes, I want to see this kid's potential. Clean potential too. Let's give this kid some sunshine for once, please. New York Jets. If you don't replace Mekhi Becton and you're going to get Rodgers, blah, 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 we don't know if this is even going to be their pick. But if this is their pick and they don't replace Becton here, I'm going to freak. Broderick Jones before Paris Johnson, 6'4", 310. Will New York have to part with the number 13 overall in Rodgers deal? Will the Jets trust Mekhi Becton and Max Mitchell to man the corners next fall? It sounds unlikely after the murmurings of the last few offseason. Broderick Jones is another young player. Let me tell you, if they keep their pick, this 100,000% needs to be a tackle. You cannot rely on Mekhi Becton. I don't care who your quarterback is. If it's Rodgers, if it's Zach Wilson, if it's Tom Brady, Ben Roethlisberger, I don't care. Mekhi Becton, you cannot put your chips on. Bottom line. That's it. Bottom line. Broderick Jones is a beast. He's going to be your starter, and it's a good pick. Huge need because there's a lot of uncertainty behind Mekhi Becton. Got the Patriots. There's some weird stuff going on over there. This makes sense. They got rid of Jonnu Smith. All right. 6'4", 265, Michael Mayer from Notre Dame. New England makes a splash a very few off seasons ago by signing Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith. Smith has been traded, and Henry is entering his final year of his deal. Hunter Henry and Michael Mayer are kind of similar players. I'm going to say it. Patriots have favored two tight end sets in the past. Michael Mayer makes that possible. Like I said, this kid is pretty similar to Hunter Henry. He's got great hands. He's got great size. The arm length is a little low, but this kid knows how to work his body. He knows how to box out. He's going to fit well in New England. What the? Really? Really? We have the Green Bay Packers trading back The Bucks move up to take Paris Johnson, 6'6", 310. Tampa saw the possibility of Washington, who's the next pick, and Pittsburgh taking an offensive tackle. So the Bucks move up slightly to add a new left tackle to replace Donovan Smith. I didn't even think about this as a possibility. This is a good move for the Bucks. Getting a solid tackle, especially left tackle, to I'm going to say start your rebuild is legit. 6'6", 310. This kid's a beast. He's going to be their left tackle for a very long time. Very long time. There he is, Joey Porter Jr., 6'2", 194. Love this pick. It is unclear how Washington views its offensive line after the offseason additions of Andrew Wiley and Nick Gates. Nick Gates had many, many surgeries with the New York Giants, but he played. He played last year. All right, quarterback remains a big need for the franchise, and Joey Porter answers that call. Wow, guys, this is crazy. Everybody's starting to sit here and see why I said Christian Gonzalez is number 1. Joey Porter is number 2. I had Witherspoon at 3. People are starting to agree with me. That's crazy. 6'2", 194, physical, plays the ball well, and's got speed. Very good pick. Very big need for Washington. If this isn't a tackle, I think Darnell Wright moves into the first round. I'm saying that now. Run on left tackles has occurred, but Pittsburgh could stand to upgrade both positions. Darnell Wright has proven to be an athletic player who has shown improvement since last year. He upgrades the protection for Kenny Pickett and Najee Harris. Darnell Wright, 6'6", 335. Some people have this kid projected in the second round. You're wrong. All right, I think they're totally wrong. I love Darnell Wright. He's proven. He's played. He's going to go to a team in the first round, okay? He's got the size, 6'6", 335. He's going to come and play in this league. He's first-round talent. Stop disrespecting this kid. Pittsburgh, you need to draft him. Whether he's before Anton Harrison, that's kind of scheme. If you're more of a passing offense, then I think you go Anton Harrison. But this is the pick. Detroit at 18. What did we do here? We went Tyree Wilson, maybe a corner here, Detroit. Oh, you guys signed a corner in free agency. Still one corner. There you go. 6', 180. Devon Witherspoon. That's crazy. I just said he's my third. Detroit has signed Cam Sutton and Emmanuel Mosley this offseason, but neither has been much more than a journeyman in their respective careers. The Lions need stability in that unit. Devon Witherspoon already has a history with safety Kirby Joseph. I forgot about that. I forgot Kirby was there in Illinois. I like this. I think it's definitely a position of need. I mean, yeah, you could take this as you sign depth in your offseason, your free agency. I like Devon Witherspoon too. I genuinely think the top 3 corners in this draft are going to be filthy. And I think there's going to be a gem in the second and third round again. Not necessarily saying you're going to find another Tyreek Woolen, but I think there's a couple players to watch. Keely Ringo is one of mine. Eli Ricks is another. I think Keely Ringo could really blossom. You got to make that kid calm down. But yeah, Cam Smith. I love Cam Smith too. We'll see. We'll see if he has any other corners coming off the board here. Brian Branch could be a corner. How you view him, it could be an over-the-top safety, could be a slot corner. So Brian Branch, 6', 193, Green Bay was able to move back, picking up an additional third-round selection in the process. Okay. So you got Tampa's first, and then you're getting a third-round pick. I kind of like this for Green Bay. Third-round selection in the process, and still add a player who will upgrade the secondary. Brian Branch is smart, instinctual player who should transition seamlessly to the Packers. I'm a big fan of Brian Branch. I was kind of hoping he fell to 21 to my Chargers. Great pick. Great pick. I get it. You guys are going to sit here and say they're safeties, blah, blah, blah. Brian Branch is a utility player. He's going to play anywhere. Anywhere. You may not put him at D tackle, don't get me wrong, but slot corner, outside corner, over the top safety, in the box safety. I know it may not look like his size, but the kid doesn't miss tackles. You can put him up on man on somebody on a tight end. He'll be fine. He may struggle with size, but he'll be there. Seattle. Jackson Smith-Njigba as our first receiver off the board at 20. 6'1", 200. Seattle adds pass rusher Will Anderson. And now it addresses pass catching group. Jackson Smith-Njigba has been sold as a below average athlete who was little more than a role player. Last I checked, there is value in a polished route runner capable of getting himself open, who could be a great complement to DK Metcalf. This kid's route tree is nasty. If you saw his 3-cone drill, it was nasty. It was by far the best in the combine. This is a hell of a fit. This really is a hell of a fit. It makes that offense nasty. Nasty. I like Jackson Smith-Njigba. I'm not sold on him. I got to make that clear. His injury history and everything, I'm not sold on him. But if he plays, the kid balls out. So, we're moving to 21 here, all right? I have two positions in my head that should definitely be addressed. I'm really interested in seeing how Josh Edwards views the halfback position with the Austin Eckler trade rumors out there. I'm very interested to see. I don't think linebacker is that much of a need anymore with Eric Kendrick signing. But today we had some Nasir Adderley news. If you don't know, he was the Chargers safety, retiring at age 25. He was opposite of Derwin James. Don't also be shocked if there's a corner taken here. Cansey's still on the board. The D tackle, he could be taken. Let's see. Nolan Smith. Bijan Robinson. Los Angeles has given Austin Eckler permission to seek a trade. It sounds as though the two parties are destined for a divorce. Getting a little emotional there with us, Josh. Leaving the Chargers without a suitable option at the position. They went Isaiah Spiller in last year's draft. I'm going to be honest, he ain't ready. He ain't it. He wasn't even suited up for all the games. Bijan Robinson is an every down, all down freak athlete, can catch the ball, put his head down, run through the run between the tackles. He really is an all-around running back. This kid's crazy. So, do I like it? If Bijan's here at 21, I like it. If Bijan's here at 21, I like it. I think there's better value right now in the draft, but I like it. 22, Quentin Johnson. I saw this coming. 6'4", 215, kid runs like a deer. Maybe needs a little help in his route running, but it kind of fits what the Ravens are about. Rashad Bateman is more of an underneath pass catcher capable of creating opportunities for himself. Ravens need a big, fast boundary option to keep defenses honest. Quentin Johnson has the athletic profile to meet that expectations. This is probably the biggest need for the Ravens besides corner. This is it. And honestly, maybe QB. We don't know what happens with Lamar. I don't necessarily think we even see a deal before the deadline or before the draft. I'm sorry. I don't know if we're going to see that. Oh, I love Jordan Addison, and him going here is like my dream situation for him right now. 6 foot, 175. Adam Thielen is gone. Okay. Minnesota has made the decision to move on from Thielen. The Vikings need some complement to Justin Jefferson in the pass game. Jordan Addison can be that long-term player. Addison's route running is disgusting. He's shifty. Him and Jefferson together that's tough. You still got Hawkinson there. They just re-signed Alexander Mattinson. Dalvin Cook is on the trade block. Interesting to see what happens with that. They'll probably if they trade him, they'll probably get a 4th or 5th round pick. Same thing with Eckler. You'll probably see anywhere from a 3 to a 5th round pick that Eckler will go for. But man, this is a good pick. This is a dream scenario for Addison and Vikings fans. Yeah, you could have a corner go here, but if Addison's on the board, whew, there's Cam Smith. That's crazy. 6 foot, 188. Tyson Campbell played well last season, but they need more from that position. Cam Smith is a bit volatile in the eyes of talent evaluators. Smith was much improved this season, capable of handling the transition to the NFL with ease. I like this kid. I think this is a very, very good fit for him. And let's be honest, I just think this defense needs it. I got some breaking news as we're on this recording. The Bears are re-signing Robert Tonyan. The Bears are signing former Packer tight end Robert Tonyan to a 1-year deal per Adam Schefter. Oh, I love Deonte Banks too. This is tough. You know what? I kind of agree with this. And I'll tell you why they don't go receiver. Deonte Banks, 6'2", 205, is an absolute burner. Kid's got speed. Defense coordinator Wink Martindale adds a lengthy man coverage corner to his defense. Deonte Banks is a bit rough around the edges, but I can understand a team getting excited by his potential. So let me tell you guys straight up. A lot of my friends are Giants fans, especially being from New Jersey. I have a couple of my friends that watch the videos. They say I have to get a little bit more into the Giants. I kind of breeze over them. So here's my take. You got Jones back. You got Barkley. You just got Paris Campbell. You got Darren Waller. You need an offensive line. You are so thin at corner. The flashy pick here would probably be Zay Flowers. The flashy pick would be Zay Flowers here. And yeah, I think you just re-signed... I think you re-signed Slayton and Shepard. I know you got Paris Campbell. You re-signed Slayton. I don't want to say maybe Shepard, but you got Campbell, you got Slayton, you got Darren Waller. You got Barkley. I think it's smart to focus on defense in the draft. Corner is a huge position. You also signed that linebacker from the Colts. I mean, you're really starting to fill in positions that were in need in the beginning of this offseason very well. Are they all, oh my God, breaking news, flashy pick? The Darren Waller one was, that's a great trade for a 3rd round pick. But you guys got good, average to good players at the positions. You need Paris Campbell to stay healthy, obviously. Same thing with Waller. But you can do something with all these guys. Dabble knows what he's doing. Trust in Dabble. He's making moves, and he's making the right moves. You're not crushing cap. You're not doing any of that. You're doing well. He really is creating space for this team to really, really grow over the next couple of years as well. Like, he's not going all in immediately. He's growing this team smartly. Dalton Kincaid to the Cowboys. Dalton Schultz likely moving on to free agency. Dallas needs a new pass catcher for Dak. Dalton Kincaid is not the blocker that Schultz has developed into, but there's no reason to think Kincaid could not also grow in that category. 6'4", 240. He is a monster in the offense. Not great in blocking, but man, everything else, he's nasty. I don't think this is the biggest position of need. I know you guys just got Stephon Gilmore. Maybe it's too high to pick a linebacker. There's rumors of DeAndre Hopkins wants to go here. If that's the case, maybe you stick with your tight ends and you go defense. Trying to think still who's on the... Why not Nolan Smith at this point? Dude's a burner. He's fast. He's kind of all over the field. Put him on the other side of Micah Parsons and make defenses think about you. I don't know. Just a quick thought. How about Cansey? Where's Cansey going? I like Osiris Torrance here. 6'5", 347. Buffalo's offensive line has been a disappointment. It's signed Connor McGovern in free agency, but needs a viable long-term option along the interior. Osiris Torrance is a powerful player who upgrades the floor of that unit. I do believe they re-signed Jordan Poyer. And they really just need help on that offensive line. I genuinely think if Poyer... Yeah. Jordan Poyer came back on a 2-year deal. I think their biggest need is offensive line. I genuinely think Adam Thielen's going to go to you guys. I really think Adam Thielen goes to the Buffalo Bills. He's going to pair up with Stephon Diggs again. This is the pick that needs to be made. Probably one of my biggest differences in my mock drafts now is the Bengals. I consistently had them taking a tackle, but I think this is kind of moving more toward a safety. I'll be shocked if like Antonio Johnson isn't here, but I can also see them maybe taking tight end. That's really my two positions. Darnell Washington, 6'7", 270. Whether it is this offseason or next, Cincinnati cannot afford to keep T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, and Jamar Chase. By adding Darnell Washington, the Bengals replace Hayden Hurts and add another specialized blocker to a line that should be improved with Orlando Brown. All right, that is a huge signing for this squad. Orlando Brown is a huge signing, changed up pretty much every one of my mock drafts. You got Darnell Washington, who's going to come in and pretty much be another tackle on the field, who can catch, and he's athletic. People don't give this kid enough credit on how athletic he is. To me, the Bengals, if you're not going safety, this is pretty good. Let's see who we got. Saints. Can't argue offensive line picks. I can't. 6'5", 322, Matthew. Big Matthew. New Orleans interior offensive line is a concern. It may not make a change this year because of the contracts among that group, but the on-field justifies it. Matthew, I'm going to say it's Bergeron. Bergeron. That's definitely not it. I'm going to leave it in the video so you guys get a little chuckle. Could hold up at tackle in my opinion, but some in the league project to move to a guard. I really didn't know how Trevor Penning did last year. That's something I'm going to have to look into. Once again, if you go off big offensive linemen, you can't ever say it's really a bad pick. You really can't. I mean, we sat here and said Cole Strange was a weird pick last year, and it actually ended up turning out well. So, it's a need. Eagles, what do you do with your second pick? There he is. There he is. I love this. This is an A-plus pick. Cansey going at 30. Philadelphia invests in its offensive and defensive lines. They already lost Javon Hargrave and could also lose Linval Joseph and Ndamukong Suh, so there's a need at the position. The Eagles are able to absorb that loss with the retention. I mean, they got Jordan Davis in the draft, so they didn't really have to retain him. Milton Williams and the addition of Calijin Cansey, who is more of a pass rusher. I love this kid. Honestly, I love this kid. I think he's having a pretty good career. This is an absolute A-plus pick for me for the Eagles. And, guys, just so you know, they went Myles Murphy in the first. Ooh, I mean, that just makes your defense nasty. The Chiefs ending the first round with pick 31. Get the athletic freak at defensive end. 6'3", 235. Nolan Smith. I believe that Smith is likely to go higher than this in the actual draft, but it's difficult finding a landing spot. I agree. When I do my mock drafts, it's so hard to see where I think teams view this kid. Smith is a bit undersized, but an athletic, quick twitched pass rusher. It's hard for me to find where this kid goes. Let me tell you, if he's here at 31 and for the Chiefs, this is a huge pick for them. This is a really good pick, really good value. Once again, it's hard for me to find where this kid goes. But yeah, honestly, Josh, I don't really have much to say bad about your mock draft. I'm kind of shocked you don't have Zay Flowers going in here somewhere. I'm kind of shocked you don't have Anton Harrison kind of coming off the board. I guess that makes sense with like what the Bengals did. I want to say maybe that's really it on like kind of my shocking. I mean, top 4 all QBs. I don't think this is necessarily going to happen, but yeah, this kind of blew my mind after the this kind of blew my mind after the Jimmy Garoppolo signing. But other than that, guys, Two-Tone Sports here with a mock draft review. Got to give my shout out to Josh Edwards of CBS Sports. Hope you enjoyed this one. Kind of a little mind-boggling for the start, but it really ended out well. So, thank you guys for watching.